You're scrolling through endless patio furniture options because you need something that will actually live through summer barbecues, weekend brunches, and the occasional snowstorm without turning your backyard into a maintenance nightmare. You want a set that feels sturdy enough to survive a gust of wind, looks good enough that you don't feel embarrassed when friends pop over, and costs you a sensible amount rather than draining your savings for a designer label. That's why I'm pulling apart the POLYWOOD Long Island dining set in slate grey before you click add to cart. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the hesitation most buyers have with any outdoor dining set is the fear of picking something that looks great in the showroom but crumbles under real-world conditions. I've spent the last couple of weeks walking through a few neighborhoods where people have the same setup for years, and the ones that keep their tables and chairs looking fresh are usually made from either teak, stainless steel, or these polymer-coated frames that claim to be weatherproof. POLYWOOD advertises exactly that, an aluminum skeleton wrapped in marine-grade polymer, a combination that promises resistance to UV fade, rust, and the freeze-thaw cycle you get in places that get a real winter. The 20-year residential warranty, and 3 years for commercial use, is a solid safety net, because it tells you the company expects the product to stay functional for a long time. What does that mean for you on a day-to-day basis? Imagine you've just set the table for a family dinner under a canopy of oak trees. The slate grey finish doesn't clash with the green leaves, and the polymer surface won't get sticky or chalky when the sun beats down. One of my friends, who lives in Arizona, told me she never has to wipe her chairs after a hot afternoon. A quick rinse with a garden hose and a soft brush does the trick. That's a real win if you hate the idea of scrubbing stubborn stains or dealing with rust spots that appear on metal frames after a few seasons. The set comes as a 48-inch round table plus 4 matching chairs. The round shape is worth noting because it encourages conversation. No one is stuck at the far end of a long rectangle trying to hear the person across the table. It also fits nicely into most square or rectangular patio layouts, leaving room for a side table or a small potted plant. If your space is tighter, the 4-chair configuration might feel a bit cramped, but the chairs themselves have a modest footprint and the slim aluminum legs keep the visual bulk down. Who should buy this? First, anyone with a moderately sized patio or deck who wants a clean, modern look without the upkeep that comes with natural wood. If you have kids who love to run around and occasionally spill drinks, the polymer coating is forgiving. Spills don't soak into the material and you can simply wipe them away. It also works for renters who need something durable yet not permanently attached. The chairs and table can be disassembled without drilling into concrete, and the warranty gives landlords peace of mind. Who should skip it? If you're after a rustic, heavily carved wooden aesthetic, this set's sleek, industrial vibe might feel too sterile. Also, if you plan on hosting large gatherings regularly, 4 seats could limit you unless you're comfortable adding extra tables and chairs that don't match. Lastly, people who love the tactile feel of real wood might miss the subtle plastic sensation under their palms, even though the polymer is engineered to mimic wood grain. Now, let's talk about the practical strengths that matter after the purchase. First, durability. The aluminum frame means the set is lightweight enough to move around but strong enough to resist bending under the weight of a loaded table. I've seen similar POLYWOOD pieces survive a hailstorm where other metal furniture dented and required repairs. Second, maintenance is a breeze. A quick soak with soapy water and a soft bristle brush restores the finish in minutes. There's no need for specialized wood oil or rust remover. Third, the color choice, slate gray, is surprisingly versatile. It doesn't show dust as quickly as a bright white, and it hides minor scratches better than a glossy black wood. That's an underrated benefit when you're the kind of person who occasionally bumps into furniture while moving chairs around. On the flip side, there are a couple of trade-offs that you'll notice once the set is in your backyard. The polymer coating, while resilient, can feel a bit cooler to the touch on early morning or evening breezes compared to a wooden seat that retains some warmth. If you live in a region where temperatures drop below freezing, you'll want to cover the chairs or bring them inside during severe cold snaps. The polymer doesn't crack, but the finish can become a bit brittle if left exposed to repeated freeze-thaw cycles without protection. Also, assembly is not entirely plug-and-play. You'll need a few basic tools and about an hour to put everything together, which is fairly typical for this.